Welcome to Media Pod Smash. Woo!
Spooky.
The entire thing could have been an elaborate hoax. What?
What?
Does a barrel roll?
Takes down a girl.
Yeah, takes a girl down.
Innocent bystander.
It was like a young Robert Preble with the yo-yo.
Yeah, okay.
It's October
11th.
11th.
You know how I know that?
Well, how do you know that?
Today, believe it or not, is my birthday.
Oh my god.
So,
Happy birthday,
thank you,
Mr. Preble.
Thank you.
Ooh, yay. One more year closer to death.
Yay.
Yay.
Let's celebrate that.
Yay. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You do anything fun today?
Well, not today, really. Tomorrow, I'm going to the Milwaukee Public Museum.
Nice.
Yeah. I haven't been there in like 10 years, so yeah, should be fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't usually go all out for my birthdays, so
just a little
yeah,
something
yeah,
here and there. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So now we should just start off by taking a look back.
Okay.
1 through 26.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay. Best memory right now.
Best memory ever?
Ever.
What?
Ever.
Oh my god.
Well, actually, let's go back for a second. Do you have an earliest memory?
Earliest memory.
Or is that even worse than
Holy
asking
cow.
what your best memory is?
Yeah. I don't know. Holy cow.
Well, you think about it while we're doing
Alright.
the show.
Okay, I'll get back to you on
Because
that.
I'll end up just rambling anyways. Just cutting you off, so you'll have plenty of time to think about it.
Alright. I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you on the edge of your seat.
That'll be like that'll be what'll keep them waiting, keep the show till the end.
Yep.
Now they've got a reason to keep listening.
Ooh.
They want to find out what your favorite memories are. So stay tuned for that.
All right.
But right now, let's see. What do you want to? Okay, let's talk about our adventure that we had last week.
All right.
We went to our first haunted house of the year. This one was called, as you might remember, we talked about. It's called The Hill Has Eyes.
There's only one hill.
One hill, plenty of eyes.
Ooh.
This was was it an old ski hill or is it still running? Like when it's winter, is it still run?
So.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's an active ski hill.
Yeah.
That they turned into a haunted place during this season. It's 3 haunts. Haunted.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
The scare lift was actually just a chair lift.
Chairlift that brought you from the first one to the second one. So
Yeah, there wasn't any. I mean, they to mark on their website they list that as one of the haunts,
yeah,
and it's like that's kind of cheap.
yeah. And like, okay, you get on this thing. You go to the first like little spook house, and then you get on this chairlift, and there's like people in normal clothes. There's not even like scary.
Yeah.
It's like completely normal.
It's literally like you're going through a ski resort.
Yeah.
But it's not. There's no snow.
Yeah, and like we're going on the ski lift, and we get to the top, and I'm thinking, okay, I see like a little figure up there.
Yeah.
This little creepy figure. I'm like, oh, what's this guy dressed as? So we get closer and closer. Just a guy with like a sweatshirt on. He's like, exit to the left.
Who is this disfigured creep up ahead? Oh, that's the attendant.
Yeah.
He's just been working here way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a disappointment. But the whole thing wasn't. I wouldn't say the whole thing was a disappointment. Let's dial it back. When we first got there, we pulled into the lot, and it was kind of weird. The parking lot attendant, he goes up to our window and he says, "Give me all your money." No, he goes up to our window, and he's like, "Are you here for the wedding, or are you here for the scares?"
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And I'm like, I actually paused for a second. I was taken back. I'm like, is the wedding like something I didn't know about? Like, is that like a little theme thing? Is that like one of the haunts, like a special haunt? Like,
Yeah.
ooh, the monster's wedding. So I actually had to think about it. But then I was like, no, I'm here for the scare, not the wedding. Come on.
No.
And then I was like, who has a wedding at an inactive ski hill?
Yeah.
Unless the resort, there's like a resort, maybe it's like an alpine sort of thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A big reception hall or something,
Yeah.
maybe.
But
like we passed that tent, like with all the music. Was that for the wedding or was that for the?
yeah, now that's
scary
another
stuff?
thing. There's a beer tent at this thing.
With literally nobody in it,
Yeah.
except for like the DJ,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And they had a sign on one side that said, "Enter here if you're under 21," and then on the other side of that, "Enter here if you're over." So only a certain area of the tent you could go in if you were under 21, I guess. Like they just treated you like cattle.
Yeah.
Like, you stand in this corner, we'll tape it off, and you just watch people drink in October weather.
This is what you can look forward to when you turn 21. Until then.
Look how happy they are. Look at them. But that was kind of weird,
Yeah.
especially because they weren't playing. Like, the music coming from the tent wasn't Halloween themed. It was like something you'd hear at a state fair.
Yeah.
So it was like, it really threw off the vibe at first. You're walking, you're standing in line waiting for your tickets, and you're listening to like Bon Jovi playing. You're like, am I about to get scared, or am I about to take a trip? I don't know.
Yeah, I know it kind of wrecked the vibe a little bit.
It really, I mean, yeah, it was strange. Like, I don't, and I think the beer tent, I think the beer tent's part of it. Like, it wasn't part of the wedding.
Yeah.
So that,
I'm sure.
that's really strange. And there was someone in line, like when we were standing in line, one of the girls working there asked us if we wanted a beer. Like, she would go to the tent. Like, that's how much business they needed. They actually sent people out from the beer tent to get orders.
Yeah. They're not coming to us, we'll come to them.
Yeah. All right, who needs a beer? Come on.
We'll get our money somehow. Yeah.
So that was strange. But we once we got the tickets, we went and waited in another line, which was further away from the music and the tent. So it started getting a little more creepy. I started feeling it. I was like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
And we were led into what seemed like some kind of scrap yard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't describe it as anything more than a
Yeah.
scrap yard.
Bunch of like, there's a bus or what, like a dump truck or
Yeah,
something.
and then there was like a couple tractor trailers and like just a bunch of trash. It looked like a farmer died, and like, he was like no one ever came and picked up the property. But so that was that was cool. I mean, I don't know if that was on purpose to make it like more spooky, or if that was literally just what the property looked like.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, good for them.
Yeah, good job. A lot of production value.
Yeah, I was A+. So we stood in line next to all that shit, and they had, well, when you walked into that open lot, the first haunt was on your right, so you stood in line, and then it wrapped around, and the exit was on the left-hand side of the line, so you could see people exiting the attraction while you stood in line. And then there was a haunt that led to the scare lift behind those attractions. So you got to watch people come out. It was almost like watching like a reaction video or something. Mm-hmm. And a funny thing happened. As we were standing in line, it was probably about maybe 10, 15 minutes into us standing in line. This guy, like you hear, before they come running out, you hear a chainsaw. So obviously the last scare is the guy chasing you. But the guy that ran out, one of these guys that ran out, he comes, the chainsaw noise is heard, and you see this guy just book it out of the exit. He trips, does a barrel roll,
takes down a girl.
Yeah, takes a girl down.
Innocent bystander just goes down.
And instead of just getting up and maybe like apologizing or laughing it off, he keeps running,
screaming
out of the exit to I don't know where, to the beer tent, to his car, to be comforted by the sounds of Bon Jovi. I don't know, but there was more scares left, so I was wondering if he was ever going to come back and get his money's worth. But I've never seen anybody run like that away from a haunted house before, especially like 30 seconds after it's over.
Yeah.
Like, you don't... It's not real. Like, he's not going to keep coming.
There's nobody chasing him either.
Yeah, they've got a limit to how far they can chase you. Like, they have to stay in a certain area. They can't come out.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
Yeah, and then so I'm sitting there thinking, okay, is this like really that scary?
Mm-hmm.
And so... About 2 minutes later, we hear the chainsaw start up again. That means another group's just finishing up. And I look over to see who's going to be running out of there screaming. And it's just like a group of girls just like casually like walking out. The first guy was a little bit of a drama queen.
Ungrateful bastards. Didn't start yet. Rolling their eyes.
Yeah.
That guy definitely hyped it up for us a little bit too much. I mean, anything less than like, in like pain, real amounts of pain being inflicted would just be not meeting our expectations at that point. So yeah, that was kind of funny. I thought that. Ever since that happened, like, oh, we're in for a good night.
Yeah,
that was a good omen. At least for the comedy side of things. I didn't know about the scary side. I mean, one of the weird things about when you go into a haunted place is, I'd say maybe about 50% of it is like more just awkward situations instead of scaring.
Yep.
Like the thing, what was the one you told me? Like how they stand there, right? Like
yeah, like so you're on this little trail. It's about 2 feet wide, and you'll be walking, and then you see this little zombie girl or something come up to you. She'll stand right next to you and then give her a little line that they give, like, oh, you better leave these woods or whatever. And then you're like, okay, so I just got to get around you here. And they sit there and like, don't pass. Ooh. I'm like, oh yeah.
You told me to leave the woods though.
So, and then you just sit there in like awkward silence for a second, and it's like you got to make like you got to be like,
you have to humor them. Like, you have to give them the validation.
Yep. And then they let you go through. They're like, yes, I got him. Okay, you can go through.
Oh, he's scared, all right.
Yeah. But if you don't do that, they'll sit there and wait for you to like get scared, and it's not scary at all. So you just stand there looking at them.
Yeah. And then there's like the weird situations where they've got the actors who have a little bit more credentials, so they get to be like the bigger roles.
Yeah.
So there's like a guy like outside of a cage who's like rapping over like back and forth on the bars, and like there's girls inside there like, save us, get us out of here, and like obviously you don't want to be. If you save these girls, people are gonna think you're a maniac. You're gonna be locked up in a mental institution. But they play it out so like hardcore, I guess, that like, I mean, what are you supposed to do? There's nothing more you could do than just stare at them and like...
Yeah, what do you say?
Just
There's nothing to say.
Play it up. Be like, oh, I'll save you. Don't worry, gals.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? What do you want me to do? Like, I'm not scared by this because I know you're no real danger. But yet, I really can't do anything either.
There's just nothing to say.
So those are situations in haunted places where they can cut those out. That's fine. Just get rid of it. I know it adds to the visuals and whatnot, but just or have the girls in there. Okay, that's fine, but just don't say anything.
Yeah,
I mean, or whimper or something. Don't like.
Don't milk it out. Yeah,
come on. I mean, you were the lead in your high school play. I get it. You need this validation, but come on.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear about how you need to be saved, because if I go in there, opening that cage, nothing good's gonna come out of it. So just leave me alone. Now the real scares are when they just jump out at you, or to sneak up. No one wants to be behind. No one wants to be.
Being in the back, there were 3 of us, and we were all. Jockeying for position to get in the middle.
It was like a race.
Yeah. Yep. I think Colin ended up in the back the most.
Yeah, we ended up. I think at one point we actually just did a little jog to get to the front.
Yeah, I do. I remember jogging. And
I think you started taking over the spirit of the guy from the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
I thought somehow that was him. He got lost.
And every time, they would wait. They would send a group in, and then they would wait 3 minutes and send the next group in.
Yeah.
We caught up to the group in front of us every single time.
Yeah, and no matter, it seems like that always happens.
Yeah.
Are we going too fast? Or are they going too slow?
But that goes back to the awkward part. You're sitting there.
Yes.
They want you to just kind of sit there and interact with these guys for a while.
Yeah.
But we just walk past them.
Yeah. But then there was a time where we did stand there.
Yeah.
And I felt really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We at one point we caught up pretty close to the group in front of us. So what we decided to do is hold back a little bit, and where we happened to hold back, there was one of the more major acting roles. It was a character. I guess he was supposed to be like a butcher or something. A butcher of human beings, though.
Ooh.
Not just any. He wasn't just any butcher, because what's scary about a butcher, unless you're a member of PETA? Yeah. This was a butcher of human beings. And his whole shtick was that he was he was gonna get this one going, get you hungry, that whole thing.
Let me load you up a plate. Here.
Right? Yeah. But I don't think he was prepared.
He never dealt with a group quite like ours before.
Yeah. I don't think he was ready to perform a one-man show because. We stood there for a while after he threw out his one-liner, and then he just goes back to the table, and it literally looked like he was consulting at the top of his head he was consulting something okay, all right, what do I do now?
We just stood there and waited for the group in front of us to get ahead more, so we were just watching him, and he kind of looked down at the table and hacked up a little bit more of this fake leg or whatever, and looked back up, and we're just standing there staring at him still, and he was probably 10 or 15 feet away from us. This was outside, so it was up on a hill. It's not like he can come over by us.
Yeah.
And there was trees and bushes in between, so he was just he had no choice but to put on a show for us.
It was either this. It was a make it or break it moment for this guy. He's like, "All right, Jim, it's your time to shine." Give him the old hacksaw routine.
He was he had no more tricks in his bag, though.
He didn't know what to do.
So then me and you got uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then we kind of walked away. And,
Yeah.
and Colin was still staring at him.
Yeah,
And I was like starting to feel bad for this guy.
this guy was actually starting to get scared.
Yeah.
He was the one being scared by Colin. Perform more tricks! Oh, God!
Starting to sweat and stuff. What do I do here?
I think I saw a tear start rolling down his eye. He's like, I'm not hungry anymore. I'm not hungry. I don't want to do this.
I'm just a volunteer. I'm not even getting paid for this. Okay, move along.
They pay me in food.
Yeah. I'm just cutting up my own food here. I'm trying to eat.
So that's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I imagine if we did that every time.
We should just go to one and just make it so awkward for them.
Like, how long would it be before they're just like they just break character and they're like, okay, come on. There's other groups coming. There's a long line of people behind us just like waiting.
God, that's funny.
Or like the girls that are in the cage, we just try to open the door. We'll get you out of there.
Like play it up, like go in as a group who's like never been to a haunted house before.
Yeah.
And actually, like, you know, the girls are going, save me,
Yeah.
save me. Actually race over there and come on, we'll get you out of
Yeah.
there. Like, untie your arms and stuff. Like, where is he? Is he coming back?
This is an objective game, right? Like, we need to get these objectives completed.
Like, what would they say?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're prepared for that.
I don't know if they've ever had anyone try that.
Yeah.
Maybe they have like they have a little protocol, like before each they have like a training session. They're like, okay, look, if anyone ever tries to take this serious, you just call. Like, they've got security that's posted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. So I mean, overall, it was pretty good. The chairlift, however, was I'm gonna turn my nose up at that.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, to give it a cute title like Scare Lift,
Mm-hmm.
I was at least half expecting, I mean, something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not just attendance.
You gotta do something.
Yeah, like, I mean, they had, when the carts came around, there was like little stuffed zombie guys sitting in there, but
yeah.
I mean, not like you could sit with them.
Because that would have made it all fine then.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been way better.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. What if they had actors on there and you had to go by yourself,
Oh my God.
like with an actor, which would be awkward.
That might be,
like,
yeah.
That was like a 5-minute ride up to the top.
Probably even more awkward than making them perform.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was pretty good though for our first haunt.
Yeah.
And now, I'm thinking this weekend again, we do something else.
All right.
I think we talked about going to the Expo Center.
Yeah. Yeah. It's supposed to be a good one. You've been there. You said.
I have been there, and it's very it's cool because they have a lot to offer, and each year they do something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Although I looked at the website this year, and it looks like the same thing from last year, unfortunately. But
Really?
I mean, it's still cool. I mean, it's new to me.
Yeah.
Every year because I have such a bad memory, so it's great.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Like, they have it's 3 expo centers, and they convert them into very just awesome detailed sets.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is Morgan Manor because that's what it's called. So, you know, naturally they got to have one called Morgan's Manor.
Morgan's Manor.
And it looks like when you walk through it, it's like a house. It's like a mansion, old creepy mansion. And the actors and actresses work hard to get your scares, and they do a very good job there.
Okay.
Although there is some more of that awkwardness where they'll cut you off, and you have to like do a juke move or something to try to get past them. But the scares are very good in that one, and then they've got. Well, usually the middle one is the one that they do variations on each year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one year I heard it was a 3D one with clowns. I didn't get to go to that one, but I bet that one would have been sweet.
Didn't we go to one like that?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
3D Killer Circus. on the way to Madison.
Yeah.
Which was right next to the world's biggest Culver's.
Oh, yeah.
So
Let
that's
me tell you something. Once you've been to the biggest Culver's, all the rest of them are just,
they don't compare.
They don't compare.
It's disgusting, really.
Yeah. I won't go into another Culver's. Once you're used to the best, you just yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, but yeah, that was cool. I felt the production value was not nearly as high as this one would have been though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I give them respect for doing it, but I think since it was like more of a local one, they didn't have the tools to do as much. I don't know.
The one that we went to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that compared to like what we're gonna go to, I think it's like you'll see a big difference.
That'd be cool.
But
although the actors were awesome on the other one.
Yeah, that's true. They were so witty.
Yeah.
They had a guy that stood outside of the attraction. Well, each attraction had a different actor, and all of them were hilarious. They would just improv and like make conversation with you while you waited, and they kept in character the whole time, and it was hilarious. Like, I think at one point they made fun of my girlfriend. What else? They made fun of where we came from.
Yeah.
They made fun of East Troy. I think they made fun of us being three guys going to a haunted house together. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, to do that all night must be horrific. That's what's really scary. But yeah, that must be like a mental strain. Like
group after group after group for hours and hours and hours. Yeah.
Especially if it's a group that you don't want to deal with. Like.
Yeah, I'm sure you get some rowdy groups coming through there.
Yeah. Not like us, not as cool as us.
Perfect. Yeah. The dream group.
Yeah. After we went in the house, he was like, God, why? I wish every group could just be like that. What if only? But yeah, that I mean, I actually wouldn't mind going back there too. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's just not enough time. Like I want to fit so much in it.
Yeah, you can only really go on the weekends. I mean, that's the only time they're open.
Yeah, and then on occasion at the end, like they'll do a special Thursday night edition.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're right. It's
like, I don't know.
That really only gives you a couple slots to do it.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 times you can go or something like that.
Right. But I feel like we've been doing a good job so far.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually going to get even better because we got a few expeditions planned. Such as our next episode, which is going to be our hunt for the Beast of Bray Road.
Ooh.
We're going to bring the mic, bring the laptop, and start recording in the car. We'll talk about what we observe along the way, and then we'll do some recording on the scene, which probably won't be as exciting without... Well, maybe we could record some visuals, too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we don't. I mean, we have been... We've been trying to get films made for so long.
Yeah, you got a camera, don't you?
Now we're ready to just say screw it and just talk. I suppose we could probably do some visuals, but it is mostly gonna. Since it's a pod where it is gonna be a lot of audio, and we'll just we'll talk about what we see in the best detail possible. We'll make it feel. It'll be like an old radio show. You'll feel like you're there.
Yeah.
It won't matter if we got you. You don't even need to watch the video.
Both of us are so great with our words. We're so descriptive and so
we're like Samuel Clemens over here.
Yeah.
Of the 21st century.
So
that'll be fun. And I thought we could, in order to get prepared for this, we could look at some of the mythos of the Bray Road Beast.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Much like our very famous episode at number 2, Ed Gein edition, which that one got a lot of hits. That's a great episode. I think that got like 5 downloads. So.
Oh yeah.
I wish every episode could be that episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to strive every week to be episode 2, Killer Hospital. We've already, like you said before, we've already peaked.
Yep.
So just stop listening.
This will be our last podcast.
Yeah, we're done. So here's a little bit of some history of the Bray Road Beast. I don't know how credible this person is. I looked at many varieties of sites before we started the show, and I chose this one because there was a lot of information, and the writer took the information from a lot of different sources. There was a cryptozoology book, a book called Oddball Wisconsin. I'm gonna just post this link on the blog so that everyone gets their dues.
Okay.
I don't want to end up getting like screwed over by anybody by saying like taking something, a quote or something, and then having them be like, "Hey, I listened to this podcast, and you didn't credit me." So look, it's all gonna be on there, and trust me, I don't think we're gonna run into that problem. Anyways, so we're gonna start out here by. The first account of the Railroad Beast. Well, let me read this paragraph to you.
Okay.
The state of Wisconsin is oddly, in parentheses for some reason, no stranger to werewolf sightings and encounters. Although it seems impossible that a mythical creature like a werewolf could stalk the nation's heartland, a number of bizarre encounters in the late 1980s and early 1990s leaves us pondering this very idea. There had already been encounters with what some believe were werewolves in Wisconsin, but there had been nothing like the reports that came out of the area near Delvin, starting in 1989. Whoa. First werewolf sighting to go public occurred, perhaps fittingly, on October 31st, 1999.
What a coincidence. What are the odds of that?
Yeah. Don't you question that a little? Like,
yep.
Happy Halloween. Oh, by the way, I saw a werewolf when I was driving down the street.
Someone trick-or-treating.
I know it sounds crazy, but you gotta trust me. Young woman named Dorothy Gibson from nearby Elkhorn was driving along Bray Road near Delvin. As she neared the intersection of Hospital Road, which is the first road we're going to hit up,
okay.
She leaned over to change the station on her radio when she felt the right front tire jump off the ground as if she had hit something. Concerned, she stopped the car and got out to see what it was. Finding nothing on the roadway behind her car, she began to look around. As she peered into the darkness, she suddenly saw a dark, hairy form racing toward her. She did not see what the creature looked like from the distance at which she was standing, about 50 feet. But she did see the figure was quite bulky, and she would later compare the form to someone who works out continually with weights. Works out with weights continually. So it was a hairy bodybuilder, just a guy on roids coming at her. Who's all, raging.
Yeah.
Startled by the oncoming form and by the sounds of its heavy feet, she quickly retreated to her car. She jumped in and was intending to drive away when the beast jumped onto her trunk.
Oh no.
Luckily, it was too wet for the creature to hang on,
Ooh.
and it fell off. So... It's a creature that's capable of raging towards you with just stellar quickness.
Yeah.
Who looks like a roided out bodybuilder, and is capable of looking like it could crush anything in its path. But as soon as it jumped on the trunk, whoa!
It's wet.
What is this?
I can't handle this moistness.
I'm not adapted for this kind of environment. It slipped off, and the car was able to speed away. Wow. This isn't like me. I'm not here to debunk this, because I want to believe that the creature is out there. So I'm done trying
you're
to.
taking my side.
I
on
know.
This, it seems like.
Well, it's because it's your birthday.
Oh, nice. Is that my present?
That's right. I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the irrational person today.
Don't get used to it.
Yeah. So, as soon as we go on the hunt, I'm gonna be like, "What was that?"
Let's bring water.
And I have
with
another
us.
conspiracy to tell you about later in the show, so that'll bring us back.
I love those.
It relates to where we work, so I think you actually might get a kick out of this one. Unlike the other 50 that I've told you. You might actually enjoy this one.
Speaking of that, maybe the beast pops in and out of different dimensions.
Oh, you know what? I didn't think of that.
Yeah. I know that's only for Bigfoot. But
yeah.
You never know.
Now that you bring that up, that seems definitely, it could be something that he does.
Yeah.
Very plausible.
We'll have to look into that.
Yeah. I mean, if we do see him, just keep a keen eye on him and see if there's any like particles floating around after he disappears.
And I'm gonna actually bring a little bottle of water with me, and if he's running towards me, I'm gonna sprinkle the road with some water.
Yeah,
and he's not gonna be able to get a grip on that road.
Yeah. Dorstein returned to the site later on that evening with a young girl. She was taking trick-or-treating and saw a large form on the side of the road. Why would you go back if you see something that menacing?
You wouldn't.
You bring a little girl with you? Like,
go look in the woods there.
Yeah, saw a little creature in there. Happy Halloween! Don't worry. She came back and the whole car was sprayed down this time. And they were wearing wetsuits.
Mom, why are you spraying me with water? Just now.
Trust me.
Before it dries, go walk over into those woods.
Trust me. It's freezing out, Ma. You're gonna thank me for this. When she saw the creature moving, so they did see the creature. When she saw it moving, she ordered the child to lock her door and drove quickly away from the scene. It's as if she didn't know what was gonna happen. Like, whoa, shit! Lock the door. Like, you've already seen it once before. And now you come back,
bringing a
unprepared, with a little innocent girl. Lock the door. I didn't think this was gonna happen. Oh shit!
God.
Oh man. So now there's another. I don't know why this is indented. This might be. Oh, okay. I think this is from a book. This is directly taken from a book.
Mm.
So that's why it's smaller.
Okay. Is that how that works?
Yeah, yeah. Pretty sure. I went to school for a couple of years, so I'm pretty sure that's why that happened.
Mm-hmm.
She had no idea what she had seen, but wondered if perhaps it might be a bear, angry because she had struck it with her car.
Mm.
Regardless, she told the neighbor about the encounter. So she didn't care. She was like, if it's screw it. I don't care what that is. I gotta tell someone. Like,
yeah.
As word spread, more local people began to step forward with their own encounters with the beast. That's like, it's not like coming out. Like, I don't see why people would keep that like it would be such a secret until someone is brave enough to tell the tale.
Yeah.
It's like people are coming out. Like, you know what? There's something I've been wanting to tell you for a long time. I saw the beast too, and he slipped off my car as well.
I sent my kid out there by herself too. And
you don't have to be alone in this.
It is weird. What year was this in? 80 something.
That was 89. So it's not like pop culture hadn't already taken over and given us what a werewolf looks like and what it deems to be a werewolf.
Yeah.
So she said his face was long and snouty, like a wolf. A werewolf.
Ooh. Wow.
And what's weird, so she wasn't the only one.
Mm-hmm.
There was another one that happened in 1991.
Okay.
There was another one. Excuse me. In another one in 1989, in October. That's a good sign for us.
Yeah.
October. That's when the sightings happen, and that's when we're going.
Mm-hmm.
So we're probably gonna see it.
Yeah.
Another one happened at 4 p.m., which is really weird because you always think it's something that would happen at night, not like middle of the day. You just see a werewolf walking across the street.
Yeah. So why are these all at night? You have better odds of seeing a werewolf in the day. But yeah, they see them all at night.
Well, night is when your mind is the most active. That's when werewolves appear. That's when dogs become werewolves, is at night.
Okay. That makes sense
Yeah.
then.
I mean, it's just science.
Yeah.
92, another one happened. Let's see. Another one, this one's pretty funny. In March 1990, an Elkhorn dairy farmer named Mike Etten spotted something unusual along Bray Road one early morning around 2 a.m. In the moonlight, Etten, who admitted that he had been drinking at the time, saw a dark-haired creature that was bigger than a dog just a short distance from Hospital Road intersection. He was drinking. As soon as that they throw that in there, that makes him not
you're not credible anymore.
Yeah. And he admitted to drinking, and he spotted the creature around 2 a.m. So does that mean he was drinking and driving too? I mean, should we be more fearful of drunken drivers on Bray Road than the Beast? Maybe the Bray Road Beast is like Batman. Like, he's actually trying to...
Yeah.
That's why he jumps in front of cars like drunk drivers. Take me!
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I would be more worried about someone driving down the road at 2 in the morning going God knows how fast and swerving all over the place than a beast that stands on his hind legs and can't even deal with a little bit of water. So what's strange though is that the encounters, like, they just kind of stop after a certain time. It says in this paragraph the sightings eventually died out, but the strangeness that seemed to envelope the region took a little longer to fade. In 1992 of January, just as why do I have problems with words?
I don't know.
I mean, does that make sense to you as a word?
No.
Does that seem like a word that you see in everyday life?
Führer?
That seems like either a misprint or like a Nazi word.
Yeah.
A
Nazi word.
Media pot smash, always politically correct.
Them are Germans.
Anyways, over the Bray Road.
They're all probably Nazis.
Yeah, they're
anyway,
all
so.
a bunch of Nazis. Oh God.
Anyway,
Sightings was starting to quiet down. A local reputable businessman told local reporter Glenn Godfrey that he had seen two bright lights emitting sparks and moving erratically across the sky above Delavan. Later that spring, 4 or 5 horses that were pastured near Elkhorn were found with their throats slashed.
whoa.
Whoa. Wow. So then after that, things just became eerily quiet. So that's how it ends.
That's it?
2 horses get slashed and the Bray Road Beast is no... Maybe they put up an epic fight with them.
Mm-hmm.
They wounded him. He limped off into the forest. They gave their lives, but they helped protect the Bray Road.
Yeah.
Those horses were heroes. God damn it.
Maybe the Bray Road Beast has just been recovering this whole time until this year.
Oh my God.
It's fully healed.
His anniversary.
Yeah.
People say it could be a wolf-dog hybrid, but I'm going to just go on the limb here and say it's straight up werewolf, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, after reading all this, yeah, I'm convinced. There's also one more theory here that we have to consider, Robert.
Okay.
They say before we get away from this topic, because we have plenty of more to talk about when we're actually exploring, and we can talk more about the mythos when we're in the car. But there's one more theory to consider.
Okay.
The entire thing could have been an elaborate hoax. What?
What?
Notwithstanding the fact that Doris Gibson's encounter took place on Halloween, there were other problems. The most obvious issue to cause suspicion was the relationships between all involved in the case. They were all related, I guess. A lot of them were, I don't know. A lot of them were related, I guess.
I don't buy it.
No,
it's real.
It's real. I don't want to hear about this nonsense of making stories up.
You don't have to read anymore.
Yeah.
I'm set.
And it says the mystery is unsolved, and that's why we're here. We're gonna
solve
it. Get to the bottom of this,
Mm-hmm.
like Sherlock Holmes. There's not a murder, but there's a murder of the horses.
Yeah,
but not anyone that matters. So that's gonna be next week. Next week's show will be probably just that.
Yep.
Maybe we could do it. I mean, if you want, we could do it in a way where we bring the recording back
Mm-hmm.
and we play it and then we comment on it.
Okay.
We could do that, or we could just play the straight up recording. Let's see how it holds up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's one route we could go.
Okay.
If you want to get together next week, or else we could just have a break. And then
it is rough doing this once a week. Yeah.
Yeah. I know you have to drive 5 blocks to get here. And
yeah.
So that's what we'll dive back into that when we get there. One more thing about Halloween. Well, this whole show's probably going to be about Halloween. Mm-hmm. I wanted to talk about really quick.
I probably got 15 minutes.
15. All right. That's all right. I gotta wake up anyways at 4 a.m. So, so there's a haunted house. I was gonna mention this when we were talking about The Hill Has Eyes,
mm-hmm.
but there's this place called Blackout Haunted House.
All right. Yeah, you were telling me about this.
And I was gonna ask you what your scariest trip to a haunted house was gonna be, but I want to save. I'm gonna save some silence. And I'm just going to tell you what I think probably the world's scariest haunted house is going to be.
Okay.
It's called Blackout Haunted House, and I'm just kidding about that silence part. I'm sure
it's true.
I mean, it's my fault for just springing things anyways, so we're reconciling our differences on the show, too. This is actually a therapy show, too.
We actually don't like each other, so
yeah.
We're working stuff out.
Once we get through that, we can actually start dedicating more time to topics on the show. But this place is called Blackout Haunted House. I've read a lot of things. I've actually read someone's walkthrough about it. Room by room, what they experienced. It's effed up. This is a haunted house based out of L.A. and New York.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sign a waiver that allows them to touch you, to degrade you. You cannot talk. You can't. You must be 18 or older.
We left that out of the other one too. We had to sign a waiver. We didn't tell them about that.
Oh yeah, we didn't
read it though.
Yeah, they could have. It could have been anything.
Yeah, the line was so long, and it was fast paced, and you don't want to hold everybody up because they had us waiting there for half an hour before they even started moving the line.
Yeah.
So they hand you this long document, this waiver, and they say, "Okay, sign the bottom," and you're not going to sit there and read this whole thing. So,
Actually, I started to,
yeah.
but then
somebody stopped you. And
Yeah.
you're like, you actually reading that thing?
yeah. So then I felt a little self-conscious. I'm like, you're right. It's stupid. They could have taken something from us.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm thinking it was probably just for the ski lift,
Yeah.
in case anything happened on there. But
Mm-hmm.
because it was so scary.
Yeah.
You could have fallen off at any time.
Mm-hmm.
One of those stuffed animals could have come around the corner and scared the shit out of you, and you could have fallen off. But yeah, for this one you have to sign a waiver. But I feel like they've got a little bit more of a reason to do so. And the worst part is that you have to walk through by yourself.
Mm.
You get no groups. No one's in back because you're always constantly in back.
Yeah.
And you can't. You have no idea what to expect. And I'm not going to spoil it in case anyone actually does want to look into it for themselves and actually plan a trip or something around. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. But I'll tell you one thing. One room. I don't know which one to do. They're all so twisted.
How many rooms are there?
I believe there was about maybe 8 or 9 or something like that, or something like that. Well, here's one messed up thing that happens. At one point, you're in a room. They put a bag over your head, not like a bag that'll kill you or anything.
Plastic bag.
A plastic
and then
bag.
they seal it around your neck.
Seal it.
A rubber band.
Yeah. They put I'm guessing it's like a burlap sack or something around your head, pull you into another room, sit you down. A guy goes up behind you. He yells, "Scream! Scream!" And you have to yell, "Ah!" And he goes, in case you didn't know what a scream was, it's like, "Ah!"
Okay.
Yeah. And he goes up behind you, and he's already behind you. Sorry, I'm so. I'm very tired. I've been sleeping like shit, which is making me very nervous for tonight because I have to get up even earlier. But anyways, sorry. Enough woe is me talk. We had a lot of that on the first show, so I think we can be done with that for a while. So he goes up behind you. He tells you to scream. Not good enough. So he dumps water on your head.
Oh, that'll get you screaming.
And he goes, "Louder! Louder, you little bitch!" I'm not sure if that's exactly what I'm assuming.
That's just what I would say.
Yeah.
So.
If I was that guy, I fantasize about this a lot. So. I'd be like, "Get down on your knees, you little bitch. That's not good enough. Here's some more water." And so it's basically like you're being waterboarded. You know what it feels like to be a terrorist. And that's, that and many other more twisted things to come await you in this haunted house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, that's the kind of factor that every one of these needs.
Mm-hmm.
Not some guy cutting you off the pass and, like, trying to...
Getting out their one-liner.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't need stuff like that. We need full-on waterboarding, torture, rapes,
Bamboo shoots up the fingernails. Yeah,
bondage, and this has it all. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, I would love to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could do it all the way through though. They have actually there's they gave you a safety, like you can at any point you can be like. Put your hands up and be like, "Safety time!"
Shut up!
Get on your knees, little bitch! I'm serious!
God.
But I would definitely like to try to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a shame I didn't know about it because I was in LA, but I don't know if they do it all year round or if it's just for Halloween. But yeah, there's that. So look that up if you want to hear more about it, and check out the walkthrough because it's very disturbing. Like I feel weird just talking about some of the stuff that they do, and this is coming from me.
And you're sick.
Yeah, I'm messed up. So just imagine what they do.
It's not a video walkthrough, is it?
No, it's
Okay.
not. I mean, that'd be cool. But
Yeah.
it's just a guy's blog where he talks about each room. But it's funny. I mean, it's well written, so very good. It's a good piece. So yeah, that's messed up. But yeah. So keeping one last thing about Halloween, I've got a conspiracy for you. One that I came up with on my own.
All right.
I was gonna say a more intellectual word there, but then I stopped. I forgot how to say that word, and I didn't know what I was gonna put there, so I just said came up with. So that's how proud of the fact that that's how proud you should be that I came up with it on my own, because I'm not very smart. I believe that retail giants such as Walmart, Target, Kohl's, well, they don't have I don't know about any other stores, but Walmart has department managers.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that they're creating a system that is going to be making department managers obsolete.
Yeah.
And they claim it's a system that is going to make the store more efficient, which it is. But by doing so, it's going to save them a bunch of money, and then they won't have to hire any more department managers.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
This isn't a conspiracy?
No.
Oh, this is just the truth.
That was over a year ago I heard about that.
The EPC thing, right?
I don't know. What is that?
Well, basically, it's like each product is individually wrapped with its. Jesus Christ! Just stop the show. Have a good night. I'm so tired. It's individually wrapped with its own unique code.
Okay.
So every time that it comes into the store, it pretty much, it's going to be to the point where it can like self-inventory.
Okay.
Because everything's tracked. Everything. Mm-hmm. Like you bring something out of the store, it knows it's gone. Like you know where it is.
Yeah.
Much. So at Kohl's, I think they're already doing this. It's funny when I heard about this in the meeting that I went to from Joey. And guys, Jesus, I feel like I'm saying a lot of things like name dropping and stuff. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah,
especially because we diss it so much. But he told us how Kohl's does a digital price thing, and I was like thinking of you the whole time because we used to talk about as a joke.
Oh yeah,
making everything digital. And I was like, it's really happening.
It's happening.
It's digital prices.
Next, they're gonna pump oxygen through the floors.
And there's gonna be big neon signs like Vegas.
Las Vegas.
And these prices, since they're digital, anytime a price change happens, boom, hit a button, it changes. You don't have to print out new labels.
Wow.
Don't have to deal with any of that bullshit.
Yep.
And every time that you put new items onto that rack and scan, I don't know, whatever you do, like sync it up with the whatever.
Yeah.
The rack. It self-inventories. They hit a button, boom, they got the counts because everything's individually wrapped with its own code. So I'm sitting there, everyone's like getting a little excited about this, and I'm like, you guys, come on.
That's our job.
This is our job. We're going to be obsolete. Don't you see? They're trying to get rid of us. I felt like I was, like the one, like the everyone's wool was pulled in front of their eyes, and I was like the lone wolf. Like, come on, guys.
He brought you into a meeting, all of you guys, and like pretty much told you you're going to be out of a job soon. Yeah. But made it sound like a good thing.
Yeah.
It's good for the rest of us, but all you guys won't have your job.
It's pretty cool, actually. But yeah, you guys, here's some applications. Or you can step down.
Gosh.
Luckily for me, I mean, if I'm there in 10 years from now, help me, God.
Oh, man, yeah.
Just kill me. Put a unique price code on me so you can track me every time I leave the house, because God knows what's going to happen. I mean, it is pretty cool, I'll admit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad. It's cool. And that's another thing I got sick to my stomach about, though. I was like, I'm actually thinking this is cool. I'm actually considering this as, like, a neat thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually getting into this a little bit. I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to be excited about this. It's like, that's my job.
Yeah.
But
You shouldn't like your job at
yeah,
all.
well, you're supposed to be miserable.
Doesn't happen.
But, yeah, it was pretty cool to see where things are going.
Mm-hmm.
Not a conspiracy, though, huh?
No.
Thought it would be a little more spooky.
No, I heard stuff about that.
I wanted to bring some like creepy vibes for the end, but I guess that's not very scary.
Well, somebody just shot that down.
I mean, it's scary if you really like working there and you thought you'd be there in 10 years. Or you thought you'd have a shot at getting a job there in 10 years as the department manager. Sorry. Ooh. It's gonna be machines. So, but yeah, that was on the coattails of a long day. Sorry, we'll wrap it up in just a little. I'm sorry. I just have one more thing. How much time do you got?
I got a couple minutes.
Okay. So I was on the coattails of a very long day. We had that meeting, and I believe it was the same day. I was walking to the back, and I see this kid. This kind of made me. It was one of those like moments of my life. I kind of had like an epiphany.
Yeah.
I'm going for a new me now. So be ready.
All right.
This old Jeremy's a thing of the past. I'm a new me.
Okay.
So I see, and it's not just because of this, but this kind of helped propel it. I see this kid, and he's standing there with his dad. His dad's looking at the electronics wall, trying to intently pick something out. And this kid's trying to, entertain himself.
Mm-hmm.
So he's sitting there. This isn't going where you think it's going. Don't worry. There's no public displays of inappropriate behavior. He's got this yo-yo, and he's eyeballing it like as if he's got to dismantle a bomb. He's got this like two hands on the bottom. It's like into like a little shape, and the yo-yo is like dangling like back and forth. It's like a little swing set, sort of thing set up. like a swing set.
Yeah.
And he's eyeballing this thing. He's got his tongue sticking out. He's like so intense. And then I see it, and it flips. And he's doing all sorts of cool tricks with it. And I'm like expecting an announcer to come out and be like, yeah! And then Jefferson goes with a 360. And then he goes with a backhand twist. And I'm like, this kid is more passionate about this yo-yo than I've been about anything in my entire life.
Oh, man.
So I got into the back room and I just cried. He sat there. I was like, why can't I just pick up something and be
how many
like...
hours has he spent doing that?
Yeah, I looked at this kid. I'm like, that's like you juggling.
Yeah. Except I just learned at work.
Robert used to juggle
Yeah.
all the time when we were back in produce, back in our glory days of produce.
Yeah.
Anything and everything you could get his hands on.
Yeah. Apples, oranges, limes.
Yeah, you name it.
Whatever.
If it was round or capable of being thrown up in the air and tossed in a circular motion,
I was going to juggle
was going to juggle it.
But
So
I learned.
Kind of looked like it was like a young Robert Preble with the yo-yo.
Yeah, okay.
So naturally, I asked him if he wanted to do a podcast. So I'd like to introduce you to our new co-host.
There he is.
Yo-yo kid. Look at him go. Look at him go.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a big no-no. You can't have that out. He's passionate about other things too, Robert.
Okay.
I asked him how he was going. He's like, so. God.
This is our
This is
show.
a disaster.
Oh my god.
Where was I going with
We're
this?
gonna end on a good note.
We are. I'm bringing it back right now. Anyway, the whole point of this is that I'm going to become a more passionate person. Passionate lover? A passionate worker?
Okay.
I don't care if what I'm doing at work ends up being for nothing. I'm going to love it for the time that I'm there.
Oh, okay.
When I get out of that place. But, I'm going to be more passionate about the things I do, especially the things I enjoy. Like this podcast. I'm going to make sweet love to your ears every week. I'm going to make sure every show is our best. I'm going to make sure every show is Killer Hospital. Starting with this one. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So that leads us to the question that I addressed at the beginning of the show. Do you have any memories that you'd like to share?
Oh,
I guess you don't remember.
If I can't even remember the question in the beginning of the show, I don't remember my best memory from like 100 years ago.
All right. Happy birthday.
Thanks.